Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the weekly general update for the 8th and 9th of October. Just before we get started, just a reminder again that everything that we do, whilst we provide you with a great deal of information and quite a lot of direction against a model portfolio, that all trading all trading decisions are up to you in the end, and you need to make your own decisions and take full responsibility for your trades. Okay, let's have a look at the action for the week, and the S&P finished 24 points higher for the week. So if you recall, a couple of days ago I indicated that markets were extremely oversold. We got down to the 1080 level that I've been looking for as a possible low point, and indeed that held, and the market turned around with an absolutely spectacular rally of nearly 90 points on the S&P. So it finished 24 points higher for the week overall after that remarkable turnaround. So I think the C leg may have bottomed out at 1080. That's the most probable outcome at the moment, but that doesn't mean that we can't get some more downside in the very short term. In fact, I really would expect a little bit more downside in the next couple of days, because the market, having gone that far that fast, it's likely just to pull back a little bit. But the break above 1150 is generally very bullish for the market, so I think we can hopefully get past the fact that we've had we've had this downside risk, even though fundamentally you would expect the markets could fall further. But the ultimate proof would be if we break above 1225, and we'll have a look at that on the chart. But the recent strength suggests that I doubt that we'll revisit 1080, although I do think we'll see some prices lower than where we closed on Friday night. So I think continuing, we just need to expect volatility. So if we're short selling, we need to short sell the rallies. If we're buying, we need to buy the dips. Now the ASX also had a good week. The ASX 200 was up 150 points on the week, and as you'll see from the chart, is trading at the top of its trend channel now. There's been quite a clearly defined downtrending channel. It's right up the top there now, so we may get a little bit of rejection in the next couple of days. Gold was up and down a bit, but net gained $15 on the week, and I think that C leg has also completed. There might be just a little bit more downside, but look, I don't think there'll be much, and I think it'll be brief. So I'm really getting a bit cautiously bullish about gold from here, but particularly bullish on gold producers, as I have been all the way through. Silver finished about $1.50 higher on the week, but because the silver market is so small, and because there's a degree of skullduggery going on with hedge funds and regulators and things, it will remain fairly volatile. So if you're participating in the silver market, you do need to take some care, but I think it's bottomed. This is the chart of the silver ETF, ETP MAG. So you can see we had that massive 2-day sell-off that took us from $38 down to about 26, and then we've had a pretty amazing turnaround. So we're back up, getting close to $33 was the close on Friday night. So that's certainly recovering quite nicely. So probably looking at establishing the second amount on silver fairly soon. So the overall strategy, before we look at the charts, when it comes to stocks, we're looking at buying oversold resource stocks, and certainly BHP and Fortescue did really well over the last couple of days, and so I think buying oversold resource companies, particularly the majors, is is a strategy that's going to pay pretty good dividends. We're looking to short sell the rallies in financials. So we've got financials in Australia. We've got a couple of other companies as well in Australia, but we've got financials in Europe that are very linked into the problems in Europe, and I really can't see how they're going to go too far to the upside. And when it comes to gold and silver, we're looking at adding to precious metals ETFs, and accumulating gold producers progressively with fairly wide exits. So that's the overall strategy. It's nothing different from what we've had for quite some time. So we'll start with the chart of silver. So this is the actual US dollar price in silver, and you can see we had some support down here at 26.50, and we had more support down there at $25. We had a massive rejection or support down at that 26.50 level, and I would expect to see the silver ETF probably up a bit on Monday. So it's certainly forming a base around this area. Let's have a look at gold. You can see gold, if you pan back long term, we've got this very clear trend line, and we've got also the green 150-day moving average, and the price of gold seems to keep coming back and touching one or both of those. We've come back, we've tested the 150 again. We're also sitting on some significant support here, which lines up with these peaks in April of this year, June of this year, and then again later in June. So that's a fairly key support level as well. So I think there's a lot of reasons why gold has probably bottomed. So I think we've probably seen the worst of the C leg now, I suspect. So let's have a look now at the S&P 500. So I was looking for either 1020 or around about 1080. Now the market did dip very briefly to 1075, but reversed very, very strongly. So I think it's highly likely that the C leg now is complete. So our A leg down, B leg back up, C leg complete. Now that doesn't mean the market is going to go straight back up again, and in fact I don't think it will. We may see some more sideways movement in October before we start to maybe gain a bit more traction and get the normal year-end rally into the end of the year. So I think we still need to focus on certainly not buying when there's been 3 really strong days up like this, because I think we're likely to get a couple of short days down. I had 1150 as a key resistance level. The market went straight through there like it didn't exist. So I would expect that perhaps now we might see something like this, maybe down for a few days, and then perhaps head higher in, sorry, just get that one again, perhaps move higher in some kind of really choppy kind of fashion. We may even then get another bit of a bash down in October before October finishes, because it's always a pretty rocky month in October. But I think from there that would certainly set up a great entry opportunity. Now let's have a look at the Australian indices. So clearly we've had a very strong downtrend happening with the Australian market. You can see there very clear and definite downtrend. You can look at the red 50-day moving average really pointing down quite strongly, and the price underneath it. Now on Friday, for the first time, it managed to pop its head just above that moving average, and it's sitting right on the top of the channel. Now I would expect that the Australian market will pull back a little bit on Monday. So as I wrote in the daily alerts, I think it will open a little bit lower. I guess the direction that we're looking for then is how it finishes. If it finishes weakly on the day, then I think we'll see some more downside and probably stay within this trading channel. But if it closes strongly, then we might see a fairly near-term breakout of this trading channel. Now just looking at a couple of other key charts, the US dollar index, you can see has risen to that resistance level. It certainly broke the downtrend that it had going, come up to this resistance level, has backed off it, but I guess what the US dollar and the euro does over the next couple of weeks will be almost totally dependent on decisions by politicians. So I think not making any recommendations or predictions with respect to currencies, it's just too hard. Let's have a look at copper, which got absolutely slaughtered when there were real fears about Europe, and I think there are some fears about China as well, probably overdone. But copper has rebounded from pretty much on $3 and finished around about 3.30 on Friday night. So that's it for this weekend's general update, and I'll be sending out the chart update for members. So talk to you next weekend. Cheers.